Everybody, it's me, your buddy Dave from thedarkstuff.com and the Dark Stuff channel here on YouTube. Thanks a lot for checking out the latest video. This video, we're going to be doing a little bit of music news and some kind of updates going on in the world. And a lot of this stuff that's going to be covered here are things that really aren't in and of themselves enough for a full video, so I'm just going to squish them all together into this little kind of dark stuff report. Okay, so first up, you just saw a little clip of the Drive-By Truckers. I did see them last week. Got this t-shirt here, Drive-By Truckers. Probably the fourth, maybe fifth time I've seen them, going back to maybe 2010 or so, 2011 when I first saw the band. Great band, kind of in the, their alt country realm, although I just consider them kind of rock and roll. I missed Drive-By Truckers the last maybe 2 or 3 times that they played in town, so I wanted to make sure that I caught them this time. Another great show. They sounded great. They played a lot of the stuff that I wanted to hear. It was like almost as if they kind of had my sort of playlist in mind. I mean, one of my favorite songs by them, The Righteous Path, was like the second song of the set. My buddy and I had tickets up in the balcony, but we basically went down to the floor pretty early on because the floor was not that full, and I really wanted to kind of get up a little bit closer. Anyways, not much more I can say. Just wanted to touch on that show. Another great show. These guys tour constantly. If they are hitting your town, I would advise strongly towards going. Bit of music news. So one of my favorite artists of the last, 7, 8, 9 years or so is an artist named Esmé Patterson. She's a kind of folky singer-songwriter, used to be from Colorado, but now apparently is in the Nashville area. From probably 2016 until 2019, I saw her maybe 4 or 5 times. And she had this record here. This is my introduction to her, called We Were Wild. Every time I saw her was great. She had this excellent band with her at that time. And I was just so amped when I heard that she got a major label contract. And I was like, wow, this could be really big for Esmé Patterson. This could be cool. And then she put out the album There Will Be Soft Rains. Beautiful album. It came out March of 2020. The exact same day that our worldwide lockdown kind of happened, or at least American lockdown. And so the album was destroyed from a commercial perspective because she couldn't go out and tour, year and a half. And that just, for a new artist who's emerging with a new album, I mean, that just didn't work. And unfortunately, that destroyed the record. I guess sometime over COVID, Esmé moved to the Nashville area. I don't know. I mean, I followed her on social media. I guess I didn't pick up that detail. But anyway, she's got a brand new album coming out, and that is called Notes from Nowhere, scheduled to be released on October 10th. Now, that's cool enough, and it can be ordered advance ordered on her Bandcamp page, which again I would advise doing. So in advance of the new album, she's put out 2 new songs. One called Circles, that came first, and these are both have videos too. And then the other one called Coming Down. They're both awesome. Okay, really, really good. But Coming Down is the one that's really, really awesome. I mean, I put it on last week's Dark Stuff playlist, and it's so good. I'm so excited for her for this new album. She posted on her Facebook that she's doing a U.S. tour in support of the new album and everything. And so I, of course, made a comment on there and said something like, Esmé used to play Omaha all the time, but we don't see you anymore. You ever coming back? And she, of course, she promised me that she would be coming back on this album cycle, so I will hold her to it. Anyways, both of those songs are great. They're streaming now. I would say go do that, and check her out. If you like kind of folky female singer-songwriter-y stuff, she is among the elite in that genre. So as far as new releases coming out, I got 3 that I figured I would talk about that I'm not really going to do a full-length review, but they're notable nonetheless. The first one is the new album from Deeper. This is the Chicago indie rock band. Their new album is called Careful. It's on the Sub Pop label. So despite being from Chicago, they sound a lot more like they're from the UK. It's really good. It's kind of got this sort of new wavy kind of post-punk feel on some of the stuff, but there's still enough sort of Americanism or whatever in there that it doesn't fully sound like they're trying to be British or whatever. No, it's great. Deeper, and the album is called Careful. My chest that tells your new friend. Okay, next is this live album from the Postal Service. It's called Everything Will Change. It's also on Sub Pop by coincidence. Now, it's weird because I just got this for the show, the radio show, but it's dated 2020 and then 2023, so I didn't look up the origins of it. Bottom line is it's a live album from the Postal Service. Their album Give Up was a massive album. It's the guy from A Death Cab for Cutie, Ben Gibbard, some guy named Jimmy Timborello or whatever, who's more of an electronic guy, and then Jenny Lewis also sings on a lot of the tracks. So if you like any of them, it's good. It's really just another way to repackage that Give Up album, because the Postal Service is going out on tour with Death Cab for Cutie, doing a package tour together. There you go. You got to have something new. Got to get the product out. Where I can love how I like if I want it. This next one is a kind of a reissue. It's the Folk Implosion, Music for Kids. Folk Implosion is, of course, one of Lou Barlow's many side bands. Lou Barlow from Dinosaur Jr., from Sebadoh. He was also in this band, Folk Implosion. Now, this particular album, Music for Kids, which is now coming out on Domino Records, it's a double album, was originally released in, I think, 1996 as the soundtrack for the movie Kids. It is known as the premiere of Rosario Dawson. It's the first time she was ever in a movie. She was a kid, a teenager at the time, but now she's in Star Wars, so you see where you go from that movie. But the movie was kind of disturbing, but the soundtrack was awesome, and the song Natural One is the most commercially successful song that Lou Barlow has been on in his entire career, which is weird, but it's good stuff. So anyways, the Kids soundtrack I think has been out of print for a long time, and so now it's kind of back in there. So I saw the Drive-By Truckers last Thursday. On Saturday, there were 2 things that I wanted to check out. And the first was this thing called the Little Bow Backyard Bash, which was a free festival in a downtown section in Omaha called Little Bohemia, and it had a bunch of local artists and food trucks and whatnot. And I went down there to see David Nance perform. And here, this one's for you, Tom, from High Rant District, because I know how much you love David Nance. That feel again against the window pane, the poison and the serum, all they taste just the same. Nance played an acoustic set. I was there for all of it, but unfortunately there was like a big line at the food truck, and we were in line for half the set. So then I went down there. We finally got their stuff, and then we went and sat down and caught Nance doing an acoustic set. And he was great, but like, a lot of people weren't paying attention, and I just felt like standing up and being like, do you know this guy's new album is coming out on Third Man Records? Third Man Records, Jack White. Pay attention. I don't know. Anyways. After the Little Bo Backyard Bash and David Nance and whatever was done, we grabbed some dinner and then went over to Page Turners to see another show, and that was Head of Femur. Now, I've talked about Head of Femur before. In fact, I have an interview with Matt Foch, who's the front guy for that band, and he's been in a bunch of other bands, including Bright Eyes. I'll link to that below. Head of Femur was awesome. Okay, I've seen them a bunch, and I always liked them when they play, but they seemed like they had this new fire in them or whatever. It was a lot of new songs. I mean, they opened with a cover of Station to Station by David Bowie, which in and of itself was new, but then they played a bunch of new material after that, and I liked the entire thing. And then we'll wrap up this video with a little bit of a taste of what's coming in the future. So this week, I plan to see a new indie band called Weekend Friends, who are from Portland, Maine. They're actually playing tomorrow night. And I'm bypassing seeing Queens of the Stone Age. As much as I love Queens of the Stone Age, and I've seen them a bunch of times, they're playing Tuesday at the Steelhouse. I'm going to bypass that show. And I'm also going to bypass the Swans, who are playing on the same night. I'm going to go to Reverb, and I'm going to check out Weekend Friends. It's a new female-fronted indie rock band, which I'm going to go in cold. Never heard them, but I'm thinking I'm going to like it. Coming out this Friday, finally, The Replacements Tim box set. And in this case, I did not pre-order it from Rhino because I get annoyed with how late they show up. And I got assurances that it is going to be in stock on Friday at my record store, along with the little Tim tote bags. So I'm going to be getting there right when they open to get that review coming after I get a chance to absorb the box. And then the last show that I would be looking forward to is coming up on the 28th, and that's of September here, and that is MSSV. That is the new group featuring Mike Watt, formerly of Minutemen, Fire Hose, The Stooges, Pointer for Pyros, and Solo Fame. And this is his newest group, so I will absolutely 100% be at that show. Okay, everyone, thanks a lot for watching. I hope you check out everything that I talked about in the video. Take care. See you soon. Bye-bye.